Another beautiful Friday night for high school football here in Southern Ohio as we welcome you into the Trojan Coliseum here in Week 7 as we have a big Ohio Valley Conference matchup on hand here tonight. As the Fairland Dragons have made the trip to P-Town to take on the Portsmouth Trojans. Alongside John Bruce, my name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you into tonight's coverage. And John, it's the last two unbeaten teams within the OVC, both currently sitting at 3-0. Both teams have been exceptionally dominant this season. The one slip up for Portsmouth against an out-of-state opponent. First place in the OVC up for grabs here tonight.
Yeah, and one of the only similarities that could be kind of a downfall a little bit for Portsmouth tonight is Greenup County plays similar to what Fairland does, which is by far the most points that Portsmouth's given up all year. But they've been very good the last few weeks. They run the ball at an extremely high level. Ran the ball for nearly 500 yards last year in the playoffs against this Fairland team after losing to them in the regular season and beat them in a 2-15 matchup last season in the first round of the playoffs. So for Fairland, chance to get some revenge and keep your perfect season alive as they're 6-0. As you mentioned, Portsmouth 5-1. Both teams have been outstanding all season long.
As you mentioned, John, they played 2 times last year, which you don't see a lot, especially for two teams within the same conference. They've played 9 games the last 8 years. The Trojans have come away with 5 of those, so nearly right down the middle split for both of these teams. You mentioned you fall to the Dragons in Week 8, 43-27, but Portsmouth, they go back to the ground game with Chase Highland in that playoff game in Week 11. Chase Highland, 45 totes for 379 and 4 touchdowns. Cameron Williams, who quarterback last year, now more of an H-back role as his older brother J.T. Williams, senior quarterback under center for the Trojans. He had 11 totes for 88 yards and 3 touchdowns. Only attempted 3 passes in that game, did Williams. So you would expect Coach Bruce Colm to maybe go back to that ground and pound that got them into Week 12 a season ago. Excited for the matchup here tonight.
Yeah, and for Fairland, second-year coach Mike Jackson, they got a lot of seniors, a lot of people that are going to be really hungry after how last season ended for them. So look for them to make some big adjustments to deal a little bit better with that running game for Portsmouth and try to make Portsmouth put the ball in the air a little bit more than they're comfortable doing.
Extremely lopsided wins a week ago for both of these teams. For the Dragons, 36-0 back in Proctorville over the South Point Pointers. For Portsmouth, they were at Chesapeake, taking down the Panthers 45-8 for Portsmouth in the last 3 weeks. They've outscored opponents 129-8. For Fairland, it's 125-21. So both offenses and defenses coming in tonight have been rolling for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, not bad at all. And something's got to give tonight. We could see, it can go a variety of ways, but could see a low-scoring, ground and pound game, or it could be a high-scoring battle. Either way, I'm here for it. Should be a fun one tonight.
Going over some of the key players for the Dragons coming into tonight. Senior quarterback Ethan Wall on the season, 1,035 passing yards. Only 9 passing yards. Now, that did go for a touchdown to Cam Kentz, but really did not need to air the ball out a whole lot in Week 6. At home against South Point. Expect to see more of a dual-threat offense from the Dragons here tonight. But Cam Kentz, an extremely efficient season so far for the senior tailback. 69 carries for 341 yards, 6 touchdowns on the ground for Kentz. Also 12 grabs for 125, 2 touchdowns. As I mentioned, one of those 2 touchdown receptions last week against the Pointers.
Yeah, it's a really well-balanced offense. Last week they didn't have to be. But this week, look for them to be a little more balanced. Portsmouth, maybe one of their weaknesses would be in the air. We'll see how they do defending the pass, as that was what Greenup County was able to burn them on in Week 3. But Week 7, both teams have been able to make a lot of adjustments throughout the year. I'm excited. Should be a fun one.
For the Trojans a week ago against the Chesapeake Panthers on the ground, J.T. Williams, 8 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown, only attempted 6 passes. Now, he did complete 5 of them for 59 yards. Not a whole lot in the receiving and passing game for the Trojans up to this point in the season. For Chase Highland last week, only 10 touches, but converted 9 carries into 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had a 13-yard reception as well. Look for Highland and J.T. Williams on the offensive side of the ball for Portsmouth here tonight.
Yeah, if you're Coach Colm, you got to be really happy with how last week went, to where you didn't have to use Chase Highland at the amount that they have typically had to in the past.
And one player we didn't talk about on the Fairland side of the ball, you can call him a wide receiver, you can call him a running back, but it's the senior Jack Hayden, standing at 6'2", 185 pounds. Last week had 8 carries for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the season now for Hayden, 36 carries for 293 yards. He doubled his season total on the ground last week. And also on the season through the air for Hayden, he has 15 grabs for 171 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's a do-it-all. Out of the backfield, on the line, out wide, it doesn't matter for Hayden.
Yeah, you have to love having players like that can do a little bit of everything. You get them touches, they make plays happen. I mean, 9 touchdowns between the ground and the air is a very impressive thing for Hayden.
Prior to the game, the Dragons winning the toss. They will receive the opening kickoff here tonight. It'll be Malachi Loper, the senior kicker, transferring in a season ago from Portsmouth Clay.
Which, based off that, you would guess probably doesn't have a ton of experience because Clay does not have football. But I know he's a good soccer player. It's a good pickup for the Trojans also. Anytime you can get one of those soccer players to come out and kick for you also, they typically can do it at a pretty good level.
Cam Kitts and Jack Hayden back deep for the Dragons. Week 7 OVC matchup is underway from the Trojan Coliseum off the foot of Malachi Loper. It'll be Keegan Smith on the return for the Dragons out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, good job by Landon Malone. He gets to the outside. He gets to the outside, and he's able to force Smith inside and still be able to hang on and make the tackle.
So we'll now get our first look at this Dragon offense here in Week 7. 4 receivers set for the Dragons with 3 to the right side. Keegan Smith soloed up near side with junior cornerback Caleb Johnson as we have a flag before the play. It'll be a false start on Fairland. Just before they can even get started tonight, already behind the sticks, that'll push them back to their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, you never want to have that, especially to start the game, but at least you know. Now you got to get 15.
For the Dragons up front, it's Brandon Kirk, Will Calicote, Wyatt Calicote, Dylan Stone, and Garrett Cornwell. Same formation for the Dragons. 3 receivers to the right side with Keegan Smith all alone near side. On first down, it'll be Ethan Wall back to pass, firing over the middle of the field in the area of Jack Hayden. Over the head of the senior receiver, flags are down on the spot of the incompletion. Looks like it'll be pass interference on Cam Williams.
Yeah, and it's going to end up being a first down. Not the worst thing there because I believe Hayden may have had a step right there. So you take the penalty, you give up the first down, obviously, but it's better than giving up a 80-yard touchdown on the first play from scrimmage.
4-3 stack for the Trojans on the line for Portsmouth. It's Kingston Littlefield, Jalen Ball, Wesley Runyon, and Alex McKenzie. One high safety for the Trojans. As Fairland is out in twins on 1st and 10 from the 35. Wall back to pass, looking near side, fires it. The pass is caught by Jack Hayden. Pickup of about 6 yards for the senior. 2nd and 4 coming up for Fairland.
Yeah, good job by Hayden coming back to the ball. Nice little pitch and catch to get a first, pick up 7 on your first down.
Through the air once again, Hayden. Another reception out past the 45-yard line. It should be enough for a first down for the Dragons.
Yeah, hitting Hayden again. You're going no huddle. That spot was, I don't love the spot because it felt like he went out at the 40 or the 46, but enough for the first down, as you said.
Whistle before the snap. It should be a false start on the center, Wyatt Calicote. Second false start for the Dragons on this drive. That'll push them back to their own 40-yard line. Second, 1st and 15 for Fairland here on this opening drive.
3 flags, 2 official plays. Good start if you've got the officials in the fantasy league tonight. All kidding aside, good calls all around so far.
Hayden motions across the line of scrimmage, now trips to the right side. Ethan Wall back to pass, firing to the near side for Keegan Smith. He brings it in, but out of bounds. The junior Caleb Johnson in coverage for the Trojans. 2nd and 15 coming up for Fairland.
And it was really good coverage by Johnson as he gets his back to him, but gives it to where Keegan Smith had nowhere to go. He had to go out of bounds, which means that's just going to be an incompletion every time. And doing so, he does it without using his hands, just uses his body, keeping it from being an interference call.
Caleb Johnson and Leland Skurlock, the 2 corners for the Trojans. 1 high safety for Portsmouth and the sophomore Cam Williams. Pressure onto Wall. He'll dump it off to Cam Kitts. Cam Kitts up the right hash and out to the far sideline. Cam Kitts inside the 35-yard line. A big chunk pickup on 2nd down for the Dragons.
That's a perfect play call. Perfect timing on that as Trevin Brooks goes untouched, but a big part of it is because they're setting up the screen. Big gain there for the Dragons.
Dragons quickly back to the line. McKenzie into the backfield, and he'll bring Wall down for a sack. A big-time play on 1st down by the senior.
McKenzie's been close a couple of different times. He gets there and is able to muscle down Wall, putting him behind the sticks. But they've been behind the sticks all night so far, and it hasn't affected them at all.
Three receivers to the near side for the Dragons. Connor Black by himself to the right side. Wall under pressure once again. This Portsmouth defensive line with another big-time play to bring Wall down around midfield.
Yeah, they must have seen something because they have came out aggressive blitzes so far. It burnt them once, but now Fairland has a very long way to go here. 3rd and 25.
Only 4 pass attempts for Ethan Wall a week ago. Has already reached that mark here on the opening drive here in week 7.
Yeah, he's 3 for 4, 37 yards, but he's got to pick up a big chunk of that here to get close. Maybe you pick up 10 to 15. You may go for it here. You don't get anything here, more than likely going to be a punt.
3rd down, 25 yards to go. Kitts in the backfield. It'll be a halfback screen to Kitts. Near side, Kitts inside the 40-yard line. Kitts with room to run. And he's brought down right at the 30-yard line, brought down by Caleb Johnson. It'll bring up about a 4th down and 7 for the Dragons.
Yeah, pickup of 18 there. Once again, another good call. They see that Portsmouth's going to be super aggressive. Use it against them.
Mike Jackson will leave the offense on the field. 4th and 7. Fairland needs the 24-yard line. 5-man rush, pass to the right side. It's caught by C.J. Graham, and he's not going to get there. A turnover on downs forced by this Trojan defense on the opening drive.
Yeah, I like them going for it, but I don't particularly like the play call there as it makes it to where Graham's got to do a whole lot of stuff, and I feel like you may have been able to get something downfield, but good job there by the Portsmouth defense, standing strong, get a couple of sacks. And really twice, Kitts broke free downfield, and they make plays in the secondary to keep him from scoring. Good job by the secondary of the Trojans to contain Cam Kitts so far.
So now our first look at this Portsmouth Trojan offense here in Week 7. Up front for the Trojans, it's John Carter, Charles Fletcher, Dylan Sanderlin, Landon Boren, and Wesley Runyon. Trojans out in the eye as Trevin Brooks off the line in motion. It'll be a false start on Portsmouth.
Yeah, I think both teams just a little anxious on the offensive side so far. Had 2 false starts on Fairland, 1 immediately there for Portsmouth. The 4th flag of the game.
So the Trojans already behind the sticks, out in the eye in 1st and 15 with Alex McKenzie and Chase Highland in the backfield. Brooks motions from right to left across the line of scrimmage. 1st down, a handoff to Highland, stopped at the line of scrimmage, able to push forward for what looks to be a pickup of 2.
Yeah, good job by Highland just to battle through that initial tackle. He got hit in the backfield, was able to break through. Now, I'll tell you what, though, when Trevor Brooks goes in motion, there's a chance he's going to get called for a false start pretty often because he goes up so hard, it looks like they're trying to draw Fairland off. He was called for it the first time. Let's see if it happens again.
Second down, a handoff to McKenzie, who pushes it out past the original line of scrimmage. Third down and 7 coming up for the Trojans here on their opening drive in Week 7.
Yeah, pick up a 6 there. That's a big gainer there for the Trojans, as they're not a big passing team. So get yourself to more of an attainable third down here.
Highland and McKenzie in the backfield once again. J.T. Williams rolling to his right, looking to throw. Passes caught by Logan Atkins. Right at the line to gain. They'll move the chains.
Yeah, needed 7. They get 7. Good job getting to the sticks there by Atkins. Good job there by J.T. Williams on the move. Looked like in pregame they were doing a lot of stuff with him on the move. The Williams brothers aren't the tallest, so maybe you get them outside the pocket, gives them a better chance to complete the passes. Nice job there by the Trojans.
First and 10 from the 39-yard line. Back to the ground with Chase Highland. Highland past the line of scrimmage and out past the 45-yard line. A pickup of 7 yards for the senior tailback.
Yeah, you're going to ride Highland a lot, but you got to do different things there. Nice job with a little misdirection, little counterplay there for the Trojans. Makes a man miss, picks up 7.
Four 3 stack for the Fairland Dragons. 5-man rush, a handoff. Highland powering through defenders out to midfield, enough for a Trojan first down.
Yeah, he's got 13 yards so far on his 3 carries, and he has earned every single one of them. Although now with McKenzie getting up slow, hopefully they have another option at the fullback. It looks like Nick Copley coming into the game, which we didn't see him in Week 1, so that's good to see.
Copley and Levon Cobb, backfield mates of Highland a season ago. Obviously, Levon Cobb graduates and haven't seen a lot of Cobb. Did not play in Week 1.
First and 10 from the 50.
Copley and Highland in the backfield. Will be a toss near side to Chase Highland, who's forced out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
But a really nice lead block started by number 75, John Carter, pulling out a little bit there. But then Nick Copley goes out in front and makes it to where Highland's able to pick up a couple extra yards. And he goes through some hard contact, pick up a 7.
Connor Black, the Dragon, to force Highland out of bounds. Second down and 3 from the plus 43 coming up for Portsmouth.
And so far, you can see the difference in the two teams, because Portsmouth huddling up every time. The no-huddle, quick offense by Fairland.
Second down and 3, a handoff. Chase Highland needed the 40-yard line. It looks like he'll come inside of a yard of it.
Yeah, good job by Fairland to get the stop a little bit short. You're going to have him a whole yard short.
So it'll be third down and a little over a yard coming up for the Trojans.
If you trust Copley here, I think you just go with the fullback dive. But at the same time, you got Highland, who's a stud.
Williams turns, hands it off. Highland has the first down and more. Inside the 30-yard line. Here goes Highland as he's brought down by Cam Kitts inside the Dragon 20-yard line.
Yeah, and Kitts had to do everything he could to bring him down from behind there. That ends up being a tough tackle. But a gain of 21 on 3rd and 1 there for Chase Highland.
Highland a bit slow to get up after the play. For now, he will stay in the game for this Trojan offense.
Yeah, it's just getting pulled down from behind like that. Completely clean play. Just it's tough on the body, especially when you got a big, strong, physical kid like Cam Kitts that bring him down.
1st and 10, right on the edge of the red zone. A handoff, the first for Nick Copley as he's dropped at the line of scrimmage. It looks like they will give him a pickup of about a yard.
Yeah, one of the things we noticed last year was they went to Highland a lot, but they used Levon Cobb. As you mentioned, they used him a lot in that fullback dive situation. And it looked like they're trying to do it with McKenzie as he's out right now. But, with Copley, you still have a big physical back that can do it as well.
For what it's worth, McKenzie on his feet without his helmet. So we will await to see if he's back in the game for the Trojans. 2nd down, it'll be a reverse near side. This is Landon Malone.
Connor Black does a good job on the outside there for Fairland to bring Malone down. Only going to be a gain of 1.
So 2 plays, only a yard gained on this set of downs for Portsmouth. As the field starts to get smaller once you inch closer to the red zone. Gets a little tougher to break out big plays.
Yeah, and especially when you are a very run-heavy team, it eliminates a lot of the extra area, and you can tell so far through 2 downs, and maybe giving Highland an extra, few seconds to get his breath as well.
3 seconds on the play clock. Snap is off in time. Play action, a tight end screen to the near side. This is Trevin Brooks powering forward. And he will be brought down just outside of the 15-yard line, so it'll be 4th down and 5 coming up for Portsmouth.
And it only picks up 4. I like the play design there, but I'm guessing that was something that was on film because Fairland read that pretty well. 4th and 5. And we didn't see much in field goals in the pregame. It looks like they were probably outside of field goal range here. Let that play clock run down.
For the Trojans, from this spot, it would be about a 32-yarder. 1 receiver set. Trojans quick to the line.
Yeah, I like the idea there. Just go get a couple hard counts there. Maybe you get him to jump.
1 week ago for us, John, a 48-45 final. Or excuse me, it was 38-35 final over in Lucasville. If this was Valley's offense, I think it would be no doubt they'd trot Jalen Bender out there. And even for Northwest, Maddox Spriggs looked solid in the kicking game, although we didn't see him attempt a field goal, was 5 for 5 on PATs.
Yeah, you have different ideas as well. Maybe the snaps, you're not as confident in the snaps, in the long snapper here. Maybe your holder, you're not that confident. Maybe McKenzie's your long snapper. I mean, you just kind of never know on some of these things. But also, maybe for Portsmouth, you think, okay, Fairland's going to score. So 3 isn't going to be enough. We've got to get 7.
The telltale sign for me, John, is if the team has a kicking net on the sideline. That'll tell you if they're comfortable kicking a field goal or not. And it seems both teams do not have one set up, although for Fairland, talk about Aiden Miller, 19 of 22 on PATs, 2 for 4 on field goals this season. He has a long of 29 yards. So the Trojans will leave the offense on the field. It is an empty backfield for J.T. Williams. He'll roll out to his left and looking to throw. Under pressure, Williams lobs it into the end zone, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Logan Atkins as C.J. Graham and Keegan Smith were back in coverage for the Dragons. A big-time stop in the red area for this Dragon defense.
Elias Blankenship blew up that play, coming out number 73. He gets his hands up. It looked like Williams may have had Chase Highland in the flat, but Blankenship gets his hands up, makes it to where Williams doesn't feel comfortable with it, and then he has to try to go deep. Nice play there by the senior defensive end, and then also, as you mentioned, in coverage as well for the Dragons.
So the Dragons will take over on their own 15-yard line, a little over 3 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Strong possessions for both offenses. They just started to stall out once they got closer to the red area. 2 men in the backfield as Cam Kitts motions out to the right side. It'll be a screen pass to the far sideline. Cam Kitts out past the 25-yard line. A pickup of about 11 yards, enough for a Dragon first down.
Yeah, 56 yards already through the air for Cam Kitts. I mean, 12 for 125 on the year coming into today, and already off to a really nice start.
One play, 11 yards for this Dragon offense, 1st and 10. So whistle before the snap. It looks like it could be encroachment on the defense. Also, good news for Portsmouth fans as Alex McKenzie is back out on the field at defensive end.
That is good news. Yeah, there it just appears that somebody was just completely just lined up in the neutral zone. Makes that an easy call for the sideline official.
1st and 5 for the Dragons. A handoff right up the middle. It'll be Quentin Cremians.
I think it's going to be Cremines.
Last week for Cremines, 5 carries, 24 yards on the season. Now it would be 17 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. Also has 2 catches for 20 yards on the year. Second down,
fake.
Wall over the middle, intended for Jack Hayden. It will fall incomplete.
And McKenzie is down again, though. That's not great. Good defense downfield. I liked kind of the double move, the play fake there by Wall, just unable to connect with Jack Hayden.
So, John, both teams have now had the ball one time, ran a little under 10 minutes of clock off the board here in the first quarter. What have you seen here early from both of these teams on the offensive side?
I mean, I feel like Portsmouth had a better chance to score if Highland's not brought down the way he was, because he didn't touch the ball on those next 4 plays. Now, for Fairland, I like how quickly they go. I like that they've used some different guys so far, especially, Kitts and Hayden out of the backfield. I would like to see if they can get Smith the ball downfield. 25 catches, 430 yards. I'm guessing that's one of the big keys for Coach Cobb to take that away for the Dragons. But you got some big play guys downfield for Fairland. I think this is going to be at least temporarily, hopefully temporarily, with McKenzie going down, a big loss for Portsmouth because he's done a really good job at the defensive end so far. So it should be, this could be a big impact. We got a 3rd and short here, but can Fairland run the ball? Like, can they run it here? To just pick up the 2 yards that they need.
Zion Froh into the place of Alex McKenzie on the defensive line. 3rd and a long 1 yard for the Dragons. Cremines between the tackles should have enough for the first down.
Yeah, needed 2, picks up 3. Good job there by, I would say, a fullback. 6 foot 225. That's probably pretty good in high school to pick up 3 yards when you need it. So nice job there by the senior.
1st and 10 now for Fairland from their own 37. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Wall firing to the far sideline. As the pass is complete to Owen Burcham. First grab tonight for the freshman, just his 3rd of the year.
I know it's only a yard, but that's a nice catch by Burcham.
Owen Burcham and Xander Collins, 2 underclassmen at the wide receiver position you can expect to see work in here tonight. Wall, a slant route to Keegan Smith, who brings it in for a pickup of about 5.
Yeah, nice hands there because Caleb Johnson got right on him. He's able to keep control of that ball. Makes it a 3rd and manageable coming up for the Dragons. 8 for 10 so far for Ethan Wall for 72 yards on the night.
Four receiver set for the Dragons. The senior tailback, Quentin Cremines, in the backfield alongside Ethan Wall. Third down, Wall, a screen pass near side to Jack Hayden, and it's incomplete. A forward pass, so it will be ruled an incomplete pass. 4th and 5 for the Dragons from their own 42.
Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate that it was ruled an incomplete pass because the ball knocked away and Portsmouth hopped right on it. I think if you're Portsmouth here, maybe you put one guy back, but I mean, if you got two back, I don't know if I fully trust Fairland to punt it away, especially with an athlete like Keegan Smith back to punt.
Keegan Smith standing firmly at his own 30-yard line, getting ready to punt it away. Cam Williams and Chase Highland, the two deep men for the Trojans. Looks like it'll be Highland from inside his own 30-yard line. Highland up the near sideline and forced out of bounds inside of his own 35-yard line. Lucas Bompus on the tackle for Fairland.
Yeah, so just to give everyone a heads up on our scoreboard, they do not have a dot. So right now it's showing 5:18. It should be 51.8. But if there's no digital dot, our camera is unable to pick that up. So 51.8 left to play here in the first quarter.
Trojans take over on their own 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Williams turns, hands it off. Highland up the right hash. Pickup of about 4 yards for the senior.
Yeah, just try to pound it with Highland. 47 yards already on 7 carries for the senior. Especially if McKenzie can't go, then you're going to have to really focus on getting him the ball and kind of riding Highland a little bit more than maybe you were hoping to.
Under 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 10 on the play clock, so the Trojans will have to run a play. Out of the pistol, Williams hands it off. Highland out to the left hash. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Big play on the outside for Jack Hayden. That'll take us to the end of quarter number 1 here at the Trojan Coliseum. No score as we're knotted up at 0 apiece. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
One quarter down here in week 7, a 3rd down and 7 from their own 37-yard line coming up for the Portsmouth Trojans. A scoreless first quarter of play as Fairland turns it over on downs and punts it away. Second drive is underway for the Trojans.
Yeah, Fairland moved the ball really well in their first drive, stalled out a little bit on their second. It appears that's kind of what's gone on so far for Portsmouth as well.
4 receiver set, an empty backfield for J.T. Williams. Rolling to his right with Brooks as a lead blocker. Pass is incomplete, intended for Lucas Bradley. 4th and 7 coming up for the Trojans.
Yeah, that was going to pick up about 3. Not really going to get much there. When they get behind the sticks, if they get 3rd and 5 or more, it's going to be tough for Portsmouth to pick it up because you have a good idea of what's coming, and especially if Williams has got to roll out to his right each time. Good defense there by the Dragons to get the stop.
It'll be Trevin Brooks inside of his own 25-yard line to punt it away. Keegan Smith, the lone man back for Fairland. High snap, a one-handed snag by Brooks as he's able to get it away. Punt takes a Trojan bounce and will go out of bounds right around the Fairland 25-yard line. Nearly disastrous for this Trojan team. However, a big play by Trevin Brooks to make the grab and punt it away.
Like if you're scoring this like a baseball scorebook, you're putting a star on that play because that's a huge play by Trevin Brooks because he just saves it going over his head. What's that going to end up being? About the 20. Flips the field back to the 26. That's a great play by Trevin Brooks. And that's a play later on we could see as a big impact on the final score of this game.
So 1st and 10 for the Dragons from their own 26-yard line. Wall back to pass, firing up the left hash. It's incomplete, intended for Keegan Smith.
Yeah, Wall's got a nice arm. We saw that in the spring over at the VA Memorial Stadium in Chillicothe. We saw him with his, a good arm, but does a nice job throwing the ball downfield. Just unable to connect there with Keegan Smith.
After the incompletion, a 2nd down and 10 for the Dragons. Wall turns, hands it off to Cremines between the tackles. Cremines a pickup of 1 yard.
It's only the 3rd designed run for the Dragons, 8 yards on the 3 carries. I mean, if you just look at the numbers, Cam Kitson and Jack Hayden get the ball a lot in the backfield, and neither one has touched the ball. It's been Quentin Cremines throughout.
3 receiver set. Check that, a 4 receiver set for the Dragons. 3rd and 8. Wall rolling out to his right. Firing it up the near sideline for Jack Hayden. It's overthrown and incomplete.
Yeah, good coverage downfield by Cam Williams made it to where that was going to have to be a perfect pass and catch to connect. Unable to do so. Going to be a 4th and 8 coming up here for the Dragons.
Keegan Smith just outside of his 15-yard line, ready to punt it away. Chase Highland and Cam Williams. Back to return, a spiraling kick by Smith. Takes a Trojan bounce back outside of the 35-yard line. It'll be marked down at the Portsmouth 36.
Yeah, you go back to that Trevin Brooks play because if they're inside the 20, there's a pretty good chance they score. A quick 3 and out. Now you get the ball at about a similar place as you had the last possession.
So the Trojans take over 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. 3 receivers set for Portsmouth with Brooks tight to the right side of the line. Play action. JT Williams on the keeper out past his own 40-yard line. Looks to be a pickup of about 6 yards.
Yeah, I like the play design there. You use the guy you're going to almost all the time, and you have someone as quick as JT Williams. He's able to just pull it, get a quick move upfield, picks up, I think officially is going to be 5.
Second down and 5. Williams back to pass, firing it up the near sideline for Logan Atkins. It falls incomplete, but a flag is down. Connor Black in coverage for the Dragons.
Yeah, Black never got his head turned, which ends up making it to where, that's going to get called most times by the officials. I'll tell you what, though, I like the idea there for Portsmouth because for the most part so far, you've just rolled to the right so far with JT Williams. That time you just set him back and you try to go deep, unable to connect, but it's going to eventually pick up 1st down if they ever call it.
So the Trojan offense ready to go, but there is no football.
Yeah, I think they're still trying to figure out exactly where to spot it.
So the ball was back on the 41. It'll push it up to the Dragon 44.
Yeah, both teams now with a pass interference and 2 false starts.
1st and 10 for the Trojans on the Fairland side of the field. Brooks motions across the line of scrimmage. A screen pass to the right side. Pass is caught by Cam Williams out to the numbers and brought down just shy of the 40-yard line.
That's a big tackle there on the outside, I believe by Keegan Smith, because Cam Williams was maybe a fingernail away from busting that. But ends up being just a 3-yard gain.
Pickup of 3 on the connection from JT to Cam Williams. 2nd and 7 with 9:25 left here in the first half. Handoff to Highland. He'll flip it back. Cam Williams on the carry to the near sideline and brought down. Jack Hayden along with Elias Blankenship on the stop for the Dragons. Portsmouth back behind the sticks for a loss of 6.
Yeah, they've tried to reverse a couple of different times. Haven't gotten, they picked up no gain on the first one, lose 6 right there. I think if you bring Williams around the other way, you might be able to get a pass out of it, which we saw last year with JT Williams here on Sosa when they played South Point. And eventually, that was really the game-changing play.
Week 9 win for the Trojans a season ago. 3rd down and 14 from the Fairland 48-yard line. Highland motions across the line of scrimmage. Williams rolling to his right, firing it up the numbers, and it is nearly picked off by Keegan Smith, but nonetheless batted down and incomplete. Intended for Cam Williams. 4th and 14 coming up for Portsmouth.
Yeah, I think Keegan Smith might be kicking himself thinking he probably should have picked that off, but at the same time, just knock it down. Knock that play down. It's going to force a punt. You're going to get the ball back. Good play there by the senior.
So this time it will be Cam Williams, who is the listed punter, back to punt. Last time it was Trevin Brooks as Cam Williams sends it away, a spiraling kick. Nobody was back deep for Fairland as this one takes a Dragon bounce back towards midfield. It'll be downed at the 22-yard line.
We'll say there's a flag, but it was coming from the near side, so it could just be a sideline warning. But there was a flag on the near side.
Penalty marker is down at the 43-yard line of Fairland.
Looked like it was signaled as a hold, which would be a weird place for a hold, but that's the call. Doesn't look like.
So it appears to be about a 10-yard penalty as the ball was down at the 22-yard line, now pushed up to the 32.
Yeah, and the person who got that was Elias Blankenship again. Number 73 has been all over the field so far for Fairland. And it looked like he caused some sort of havoc there to get that call to get an extra 10 yards for his team.
So 1st and 10 for Fairland from their own 32. Pass to the outside for Jack Hayden. As his legs are taken out from underneath of him, the pass will fall incomplete. Cam Williams in coverage for the Trojans.
Yeah, just a lot of screens, a lot of actions in that way for Fairland so far. But a good job by Cam Williams jumping that quickly. I don't think Hayden was coming down with it regardless, but if he did, it was going to be a tough finish for him on that play.
4 receivers set for the Dragons on 2nd and 10. Hayden motions across the line of scrimmage. Now 2 receivers both ways. Wall steps up in the pocket. Over the middle. Pass falls incomplete. Intended for the junior Connor Black. 3rd and 10 for Fairland.
Yeah, just for a team that allegedly doesn't cover very well downfield, Portsmouth's done an outstanding job so far, as really the only big plays have been the screen passes to Kitts so far. Fairland's 0 for their last 4 in the air.
On the season, Wall a 76 completion percentage coming into tonight. 13 touchdowns to 3 interceptions for the senior. Wall over the middle, passes batted down and incomplete. Trevin Brooks on the deflection for Portsmouth. Big time play by this Trojan defense as they're going to force another Dragon punt here in the first half.
And I think if that wasn't the fastball there, that might be a pick six going the other way for Trevor Brooks. A little too much heat on it. Brooks able to knock it down, though. And really a game that we thought may have had a lot of scoring. Nothing doing so far through the first 16 minutes of play.
A far cry from our matchup a week ago, a 38-35 final in Lucasville.
Which we thought may not have much scoring.
That matchup was a 7-6 final. Ball is punted away. It'll be Chase Highland who muffs the punt. He'll pick it up and look to return it. Near side, Chase Highland with room to run. Here goes the senior, Chase Highland, staying on his feet and brought down at the Dragon 25. A flag is down back at the Dragon 40.
Yeah, and it was an unnecessary block downfield. It was a blindside block. I think that the player is going to argue that he was turned, but he came so late on it. Ends up being a pretty easy call. Yeah, pretty easy call for the official, and that takes away a big return for Chase Highland.
So Highland originally marked down at the Dragon 22. So you would figure this would probably come out to the 37-yard line. 2 flags are down, however, most likely for the same foul.
But the other one is around where the punt would have happened.
Oh, there are 3 flags down. There's one back around the 22. Could potentially be a roughing the punter. In this case, both fouls would be on the Trojans. So this could potentially be a first down for Fairland.
So it's going to be a personal foul. Okay. I don't, they are not on the same page at all right now because
reportedly 1 foul on each team. They will offset.
Yeah, so we should see a punt again.
So we will redo the punt.
Yep.
Much to the dismay of every Trojan fan in attendance, as what was nearly disastrous for Portsmouth. Chase Highland turned into about a 60-yard return.
But if you saw the highlight last week of Sean Terry, if you muff a punt, for some reason everyone loses their mind in coverage. So if you muff a punt and you're able to pick it up quickly, just turn and you got a chance to pick up a big gain.
Saw Jake Brown a week ago muff a snap and turn around and turn it into a 9-yard rushing score. We have another whistle before the replay of the 4th and 10.
Yeah, and the block downfield was just so unnecessary. They have the ball to 12 right now.
Right.
If that play, if you watch it back, it's a very obvious call. What takes away a huge gain there for Chase Highland.
So Smith from his own 20-yard line will boot it away. An end-over-end kick to the far sideline. It'll roll out of bounds. The official marking looks to be just inside the 40.
It's my favorite thing in football officiating.
Right at the 38-yard line is where we will see this Trojan offense kick off this drive with 7:43 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, one of my, honestly, besides watching the officials do a fake kick for a roughing or running to a kicker, watching him run down to the 31-yard line for some reason and then walk it back to the 38 I enjoy that greatly.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Portsmouth. Empty backfield for J.T. Williams. Designed keeper Williams right up the gut inside the 45-yard line, and the ball is out.
That's a heck of an athletic play by J.T. Williams.
Logan Atkins on the recovery for Portsmouth.
It was Williams. Got his own, yeah. He's going to be marked down. They're going to say he was down, so it's going to be a pickup at 9. But Williams immediately got on top of it. I think Atkins was there, but J.T. Williams got there so quick. Still a nice pickup
was on the recovery once again. Nearly disastrous. Now 2 fumbles in the last 3 plays for Portsmouth. Nonetheless, 2nd and 1 coming up from their own 47-yard line. Another empty backfield for the Trojans this time. They'll go back to the ground. JT Williams has the first down and more into Dragon territory right at the 45.
Yeah, another pickup of about 8 there for Williams. You have different dynamic players for Portsmouth, and I like the way they're using them. I would almost like to see Highland back there as well.
Haven't seen Highland with the Toad since I believe that first drive where he was brought down hard by Cam Kitts.
He's had 2 for 3 yards since then. So, besides that punt return though, he looked healthy there. So maybe it's just, hey, we're going to give you a different look. You're going to have to adjust to this.
For the third consecutive play, it'll be an empty backfield for JT Williams. Another QB draw. He's hit in the backfield and taken down at the line of scrimmage. Will Calicote, the first man into the backfield for the Dragons. 2nd and 10 coming up for Portsmouth.
Maybe one too many times in a row. But you picked up 17 yards on the previous 2 plays. I don't blame him for trying to go with it a third time there.
Second and 11, Williams lobs it up the far sideline. Pass is caught. What a play by Logan Atkins up the far sideline. Atkins marked out of bounds at the 21-yard line. The flag is down after the play.
It would be a gain of 25 if it stands. Although Portsmouth seems to be coming back. It's going to be an offensive pass interference.
So an offensive pass interference on Logan Atkins.
That's a bad call. That's a bad call. That may have been called by the Fairland. We just watched it back. That's a bad call. There's no hands at all by Logan Atkins.
So erase the 25-yard pickup. That'll push the Trojans back inside their own 40-yard line. 2nd and a mile.
Yeah, that's a bad call. I'm not sure the one earlier on Fairland down on the near sideline was a good call either, but
and you hate to see it for a team that
doesn't
throw it a whole lot. That time, a big-time connection from Williams to Atkins.
I just don't like seeing it on outstanding plays like that, individual plays that were made.
With 5:30 to go here in the first half, Bruce Cobb will take his 2nd time out of the half. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio. Scoreless through 1.5 quarters here in Week 7. It's been a defensive showcase as Portsmouth currently sits 16 yards behind the sticks at 2nd and 26 from their own 39-yard line. Just had a big-time play wiped off the board by an offensive pass interference on Logan Atkins.
Yeah, that ends up being a big play because they're down to the 21. You got to think that you have a pretty decent chance to score there, but now you're 2nd and 26. It's going to be very tough to even pick up the first.
Williams rolling out to his left. He'll lob it down the near sideline. Coming back to the ball is Cam Williams, and he'll make the grab.
Well, and 100% that's pass interference. I mean, the ball's thrown so far behind, but ends up being about a 17, 18-yard gain there. It's going to be 19 officially. Nice job there connecting between the Williams brothers. Makes it to where this is a 3rd and manageable.
So the brotherly connection makes this set of downs much more manageable for Portsmouth. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Empty backfield for JT. Williams rolling to his right, brings it back to the near side for Cam Williams. It's through his hands and incomplete. The Trojans once again go back to the screen game.
And it wasn't called, but there's a hold on that as well. I know you can call these things on most plays, but Portsmouth probably gets away with one here, there. I mean, 4:39 left here in the half. You know, you have some options here if you're Portsmouth. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Bruce Cobb will leave the offense. Check that. It will be Cam Williams. You got to wonder why it was Trevin Brooks on the first punt for the Trojans, as the last two have been Cam Williams. Regardless, Williams will punt it away. Nobody back deep for the Dragons, and this one will roll into the end zone for a touchback.
It ends up being a 42-yard punt with a net of 22. So 4:32 left here in the first half. We have no score, which, once again, I'm not sure many of us that signed up for this expected that. But good defense so far for both teams.
For both of these teams, for Portsmouth, it's been 129 points in the last 3 weeks. For Fairland, 125.
But you also mentioned, was it Portsmouth's given up 8 and Fairland's 21? So, I mean, still, they're not giving up a lot of points as well. So maybe it says more for their defenses than anything.
So we're looking at a 1st and 10 from their own 20 for the Dragons. It'll be Cremines up the middle. He'll push it up to the 25-yard line, a pickup of 5 on first down for the senior.
Yeah, they must have seen something with Kitts and Hayden running the ball that they did not like at all, because they haven't. They've had 4 design runs, all for Cremines. That's the long of the game so far for 5.
We've seen some deep targets tonight for both Keegan Smith and Jack Hayden. A couple of screens for Cam Kitts as well. Under 4 minutes to go in the half. 2nd and 5 from the Dragon 25. Hayden and Cremines in the backfield alongside Wall. A whistle prior to the snap, and it will be a false start on the Dragons. That'll push them back to the original line of scrimmage and make it a 2nd and 10.
So take away that 5-yard gain, right back to a 2nd and 10 now.
$15 on the play clock, plenty of time for the Dragons. All 3 timeouts for head coach Mike Jackson. 2nd and 10, Wall. Back to pass, under pressure, and he'll spike it into the ground. He's out of the tackle box, but he actually may not have been, and it looks like it'll be an intentional grounding on the senior. You had to figure that imaginary line, which represents the tackle box, extremely close to being out of it for Wall. Of course, it is a discretion penalty.
Yeah, he saw a white shirt, but it just happened to be a lineman, so ends up being grounding. I think I talked to you about this the other night. Like, that should go as a sack. Like, as the fantasy football nerd in me, like, it'd be nice to get the sack on that, especially for the defender that causes that to happen.
Looked like it was Jalen Ball and Landon Boren into the backfield for the Trojans. Now a 3rd and 17 for Fairland. This is a Fairland offense that, outside of that first drive, John, has not been able to get a whole lot going.
Yeah, and Wall just left the game, so we have someone else in the backfield right now.
It'll be Jack Hayden. Took a couple of long runs a week ago to the house. This time will not be able to do so. Pick up of about a yard for Jack Hayden. Leland Skurlock on the stop for the Trojans.
Yeah, let's hope that Ethan Wall's okay, because he took a big hit on that, being tended to right now on the sideline.
For Jack Hayden a week ago, 8 carries for a $172 and 2 touchdowns. One of those long runs did come out of the Wildcat.
So good news for Fairland. They still have that in their back pocket because you saw it before for them.
The whistle prior to the snap. It'll be the first time out of the half for Mike Jackson and the Fairland Dragons. .247 left here in the first half. Just one timeout for Portsmouth. Both teams remain scoreless through nearly a half of high school football here in Week 7.
Yeah, and really with where the previous punts have been, you would think Portsmouth more than likely is going to have the ball around midfield, which gives them pretty decent scoring position, but 2:47 left to play, only one timeout, and you're really a run-heavy team. We've seen one big return negated by a penalty so far. A lot of flags so far in this game. 9 so far between the two teams. 5 for Portsmouth, 4 for Fairland. And then we had the 2 that negated each other on that. The last, or the big punt return by Chase Highland.
So Keegan Smith will punt it away from inside his own 5-yard line. Cam Williams and Chase Highland sitting around midfield. Spiraling punt out to midfield. Cam Williams will let it roll. What a punt from Keegan Smith, as it will be down at the Trojan 39-yard line.
You got 2 guys back. You got to catch that ball. Like, to me, you have to try to catch that ball, even if you fair catch it. Because now, that ends up being about a 16-yard roll. So, really good getting that ball to roll for Keegan Smith. But for me, I think if you're Portsmouth, you got to try to do what you can to catch that ball, but you also don't want to muff it. So
2.5 minutes left in the first half. No score.
2:35 to go here in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 39-yard line. Out of the pistol, Williams turns, hands it off. Chase Highland out past the 40-yard line for a pickup of 2 yards.
He has his first carry, and I think in this quarter.
And for a guy, John, that was the king of efficiency last week, a $145 on 9 carries, has been held relatively in check by this Fairland defensive front.
9 carries, 48 yards, and one of those was for 21. So, yeah, they've done a really good job outside of that big carry, and Cam Kitts did a great job of bringing them down on that play.
2 minutes left in the half is a whistle before the snap. It'll be a false start on the Trojans. That'll push them back beyond the original line of scrimmage and make it a 2nd down and 13. Prior to the snap, another false start. It'll be the right tackle, Wesley Runyon. Now 10 yards and penalties for the Trojans on this drive. That'll make it a 2nd and 18.
60 yards of penalties now, and that's not even counting that 15-yarder that was waved off because Fairland also committed a penalty.
Which is crazy to think about, John, because really up to this point in the football game, Portsmouth's offense has been the more efficient team, the only team so far to reach the red zone.
Yeah, but now just shooting themselves in the foot this possession.
Out of the pistol, it'll be a play fake. It'll be J.T. Williams up the middle trying to bust it to the outside. He'll be brought down along the right hash for a pickup of about 8 yards.
Yeah, Cam Kitts does a good job just getting his foot, getting him down from behind. Like you mentioned, a pickup of about 8 there.
3rd down and 11 for the Trojans. And if you're Mike Jackson, is this a spot where you think about burning a timeout or two to save some time for your offense, or do you maybe just think, with Ethan Wall being a little banged up on the prior drive, you just take this tied ball game into the half.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm thinking. I think it comes down to the health of Ethan Wall right here.
3rd and 11, Williams. Pressured in the backfield. It'll be a QB keeper as he'll take it between the tackles. Nowhere to go as he's brought down by a host of Dragon defenders. And it looks like Mike Jackson will take a timeout. His second of the half.
Yeah, and there's some miscommunication in the backfield there. It looked like Highland and Williams expected the other to go the opposite way, to where it makes it to where that option is not, you don't have to worry about it because you know that it's going to stay with JT Williams right there.
So 4th and 9 from the 40-yard line, 1:10 left here in the first half. An incoming punt, presumably from Cam Williams, but we have seen Trevin Brooks punt one away, potentially the highlight of the first half.
Yeah, you don't hear that a lot in high school sports, especially when you have a 6-0 team against a 5-1 team. But really, Trevin Brooks doesn't make that play.
First and 10 for the Dragons, most likely inside the Portsmouth 20-yard line.
Yeah, and really then he flips the field with a really good punt. So that's, right now, that's the play of the half.
So Cam Williams from his own 33-yard line will punt it away. 2 gunners to both sides of the line for Portsmouth, a spiraling kick. Fair catch at the 30-yard line for Keegan Smith. So 70 yards, 64 seconds, and 1 timeout is the setup for this Dragons offense as we inch closer to the break here in Week 7.
And we'll say once again, the clock, the first quarter, showed back to 5 minutes. So if you see that happening here,
right, the first 2 digits are how many seconds is left.
And the
third is the decimal.
Yeah. So we'll let you know on each play, but at the same time, 1:04 left. Ethan Wall is coming back out here.
Good news for the Dragons faithful. Senior quarterback Ethan Wall back onto the field. Hayden motions across the line of scrimmage. Wall back to throw. Wall under pressure. He'll keep it himself. We don't see Wall do this too much. So there's contact after the play. Wall more or less delivering the hit, but you got to figure the penalty most likely on Jacob Tidd.
Yeah, it's just he's going straight out of bounds. He's giving himself up on the play. And then if you're going to do it, you got to be the one to make the hit because it ends up being Wall, but it's going to be a 15-yarder on the Trojans. It's a good call. I mean,
it's not too often you see the accused player of the late hit being the one that takes the worst of it.
Yeah, but you got Wall. We don't have his height and weight. Might be able to find it real quick. I mean, Wall 6'3", 175, but that's a big 6'3", 175.
For Jacob Tidd, 5'8", 137.
Yeah, so more than likely Wall's going to be the one making the impact. That's a big penalty, as now it puts Fairland back across the 50 for the first time in quite some time.
So 1st and 10 from the Trojans, 49. A handoff right up the middle. Here goes Cam Kitts out to the 35. Pickup of 14 for the senior tailback.
His first carry of the game, Kitts gets across to the 35.
Under 50 seconds to go, a screen pass to the left side. It is caught by Jack Hayden. No, it will be ruled incomplete.
They got lucky.
For Jack Hayden, that's a ball you probably just want to let go.
Yeah, very fortunate there. Like we're way too far away to see if that was correct or not, but very fortunate there for Fairland because Hayden went down with the intention to catch that, and with his feet going out from under him. Now, as we mentioned, there's 46 seconds left now here. I don't know. I think because of the 6, maybe. I don't know.
So with 46 seconds, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Dragons back to the ground with Cam Kitts between the tackles, just shy of the 25. Referees will move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Fairland. The clock will stop as the chain gain moves up. 1st and 10, right back to Kitts. Kitts out to the right hash, diving past the 20-yard line as the clock continues to run. 27 seconds to go in the half, and we'll have a timeout for the Dragons.
It's their final timeout. Yeah, and it's going to be a pickup of 7 on the play.
So although our clock shows 3 minutes and 1 second, there is 27 seconds.
Yeah, I think the second digit being the 7 makes it to where it's kind of losing its mind on it, but that's technology. You think it has everything, but hey, getting back to this, that's 31 yards on 3 carries for Cam Kitts. That got them down. They're inside the 20 for the first time, and really, it all sparks off of that big 15-yard penalty as Ethan Wall picked up about 6 yards, is just giving himself up out of bounds. His hit ends up giving him 15 yards, and now maybe they're going to be a little more aggressive. But as you mentioned, 27.8 seconds left, no timeouts left for Fairland. So if you're Portsmouth, you want to take away the sidelines, but you also don't want to just give up 7-8 yards for, well, it's going to be Kermeans now.
2nd down and 3 from the 18. Wall drops back to pass. The pocket collapsing. Floats it into the end zone. It's Jack Hayden. Touchdown, Dragons.
Beautiful pass, beautiful catch. Great 2-minute offense there for the Dragons.
And for Fairland, a big-time score as the Trojans are set to receive the opening kickoff of the second half.
Yeah, an 18-yard pass and catch there. Beautiful play by Fairland.
A fake PAT, and it will be completed from Ethan Wall to Cam Kitts. The Dragons are out to an 8-0 lead here at the conclusion of the first half.
Yeah, just a great way to finish the half for the Trojans, or correction, for the Dragons. But, as you mentioned, for the Trojans, they get the ball to start the second half. So you can't drop your heads here. Maybe you get a big return. If not, you're probably just going to run out the clock. But you get the ball to start the second half. You've done a great job defensively so far if you're Portsmouth, besides that last drive. Got to clean up the penalties, though. 8 penalties, 75 yards so far on Portsmouth. Cannot have that happen if they want to be able to make this comeback in the second half.
Correction on the play, I believe it was Keegan Smith on the other end of the 2-point conversion. Nonetheless, first time a team has reached the colored area here tonight. Successful 2-point conversion for the Dragons and an 8-0 lead. 21 ticks to go in the first half.
There's a two well-designed plays there, because that was a really well-designed play, because there's no way that ball is being picked off, that ball to Hayden. Hayden has to make a really nice play on it, but perfect pass from Wall. And then the 2-point try was just a really well-designed play. As you mentioned, Smith is able to get the 2 points. 21.2 left here in the first half.
Elias Blankenship on to boot it away for the Dragons. With Portsmouth kicking off to begin the night. Of course, the first time we've seen this Dragons kickoff team appears to be a left-footed kicker in Blankenship, setting the ball on the tee sideways. Squib kick up the left hash. Portsmouth has got to get on top of it. JT Williams, understanding the situation, will dive on top of it inside his own 25-yard line. And with a single timeout in 19 seconds, you got to figure this is most likely a kneel and head to the locker room for Bruce Kalm and the Portsmouth Trojans.
Yeah, and I'm guessing just based off of that, when Blankenship comes in, he's not kicking the ball very far very often, because there was only the one man very deep for Portsmouth. $19.3 to play here. One timeout and they've dropped Chase Island very deep.
So out of the pistol, it'll be J.T. Williams. Will drop a knee at the 19, and that'll do it for the first half of high school football here at the Trojan Coliseum. A late score by the Dragons, Ethan Wall to Jack Hayden. And the Dragons are up 8-0 following a successful 2-point conversion headed into the break. Trojans set to receive the opening kickoff of the second half. For the time being, we will step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio, a Week 7 Ohio Valley Conference matchup. Through the first half, an 8-0 lead for the 6-0 Fairland Dragons. First place in the OVC on the line. The Dragons looking for their first OVC title since 2013. Trojans set to receive the opening kickoff of the second half. John Bruce alongside Dewey Daly. Some halftime scores from around the area here in Week 7.
Yeah, if you check out our, some of our writers around, especially on the Twitter or X, whatever it is now, with Derek Webb, Piketon 7, Paint Valley 6 at the half. These are all halftime scores as well. Austin Hanna has Lucasville Valley 21, Portsmouth West 6.
Couple of underdogs out in front.
Mm-hmm. Carson Francis has Bloom Carroll 21, Logan Elm 0. Brock Netter has Northwest 7, Vinton County 3 at the half. The only score we have that is not at the half is Pikeville, Kentucky 14, Ironton 7. That was in the first quarter. Would be a pretty big shocker there. So some other scores in the area. Waverly, once again at the half. Waverly 27, Medford 0. Hillsborough 14, Chillicothe 0. Hamilton Township 41, Circleville 21. Wheelersburg 35, Oak Hill 0. Sims Valley 21, Eastern Pike 20. That'd be a pretty big upset as well.
First regular season loss for Eastern in
forever.
about 2.5 years.
Rock Hill leads Gaia 13-0 at the half. Chesapeake 21, South Point 12 at the half. South Gaia leads East 46-0. That game is being played at Green. Kudos to Green. They've really stepped it up over the last 2 weeks to help out some of these local teams. Trimble 39, Belpre 0. Nelsonville York 18, Wellston 0. And then Miami Trace 44, McLean 3 at the half. So some stats in the first half. I'll start with Portsmouth. JT Williams 4 of 8 for 33 yards. He also had 6 carries for 31 yards. Chase Highland, 9 carries for 48 yards. They just haven't really been able to move the ball very much. Cam Williams, 2 catches for 22 yards, leads the Trojans. The big thing for the Trojans, 8 penalties for 75 yards, including a big one late in the first half that really helped set up Fairland's only scoring drive. And, ends up being just a big killer. Fairland has 4 penalties for 30 yards. They have been led by Ethan Wall, who is 9 of 18 for 90 yards and a score. Big thing for him, he got a 6-yard gain. That's when he was going out of bounds, gets hit, and really he was the one that laid the hit on but it was clearly initiated by the defensive player. So pretty easy call there. Sets up a big play for them. Cam Kitts, 3 carries, all of which on that last scoring drive for 31 yards. He's also got 3 catches for 56 yards. Jack Hayden, 1 carry for 1 yard, but 3 catches for 28 yards, including the diving touchdown score with 21.2 seconds left in the opening half. And then the 2-point try, which was Wall, the holder, pulls it and it hits Keegan Smith for a 2-point conversion, making it 8-0 for Fairland.
I think a key for the Trojans coming into the second half is just keep doing what you're doing. It seemed like after that first drive for Portsmouth, maybe Chase Highland wasn't at his healthiest as he was brought down sort of awkwardly by Cam Kitts after that long run. Didn't see him get a whole lot going, especially from the efficiency side. I'm not sure what his total is rushing on the night, but well over half of those yards on that play alone.
Well, he's 9 for 48. He only had 3 touches after that, and they had at least 3 possessions after that. So he just didn't see the ball often. But when you ask about his health, he still had that broken play punt return that would have been about a 45-yard return, but was called back because of a penalty, which one of the many costly penalties for the Portsmouth Trojans on the night.
And for Fairland, ultimately, how many drives did the Dragons have in the first half? Because all but one were very good up until that touchdown drive that, as we mentioned, ended with a Ethan Wall to Jack Hayden 18-yard reception. Weren't able to get a whole lot going. Now the penalty on Wall it wasn't on Wall, but the late hit onto Wall that pushed them across midfield kind of helped kickstart that. Is they had to go about 80 yards with 1 minute and 4 seconds and only one timeout, and they were able to do so with about 20 seconds to spare.
Yeah, that was a really big possession. There was a couple of really nice play calls on that possession for the Dragons as well. So it was a well-coached possession. And it looked a lot like that first possession for them where they moved right down the field, and then a couple of sacks for Portsmouth. You know, for Portsmouth, the big thing, I think you got to keep getting pressure on the quarterback in Ethan Wall. Try to make him uncomfortable and make him pass on the move if you can. But you also can't get yourself, kind of out of sorts defensively, because then that's when they hit Cam Kitts, Jack Hayden for those big plays. One thing, JT Williams hit Logan Atkins downfield. It was called back on a penalty, but it was a big play. They were able to make a big play downfield, so that's an opportunity as well.
So for the Dragons, it'll be Elias Blankenship setting the ball up sideways on the tee. The left-footed kicker will get us going. Second half is underway from the Coliseum. The ball bounces over Williams and picked up inside the 25 by Cam Williams. Nowhere to go for the sophomore as he's brought down around the 23-yard line as a flag is in around the spot of the tackle.
I think we're going to see a face mask here. It looked like a pretty high tackle on that.
Saw JT Williams go low, bounced right over top of his head. Thankfully, Cam Williams was behind him. Ball spotted at the 23-yard line, so that should add about 15 yards to the spot.
Yeah, that's a big play to start the second half, because it looked like because of that big bounce that, Portsmouth was going to be buried, but now you get the ball to 38, so you have pretty good field position.
So a 15-yard kickstart to begin the second half for the Trojans. Alex McKenzie remains out of the game on the offensive side of the ball as Nick Copley is in the backfield for the Trojans. The handoff goes to Chase Highland as he's brought down at the 41-yard line, a pickup of 3 for the senior. We've got some pushing and shoving going on after the play as a flag is thrown. It would appear that the penalty is on the Trojans.
Yeah, some extracurriculars, and these are teams that they end up being pretty big rivals overall in the OVC. So you see a little chippiness here.
It looks like it will be offsetting penalties.
Yeah, so it's going to be that pickup of 3. Everything after the play. And I mean, really, maybe you just see the second man do it, but I feel like if you're smart, you know that both were. So good job there by the officials. It looks like it got broken up pretty quick. Let's play on.
These are two teams that are nearly right down the middle in the last 9 meetings, splitting last year 1-1. Portsmouth winning 5 of the last 9. OVC title up for grabs here in Week 7. Second down and 7 yards to go. Another handoff to Chase Highland as he's up inside the 45-yard line. Looks to be about a yard shy of the line to gain. Pickup of 6 for the senior.
Just go there again. I mean, the last time you had a 3rd and 1 where I was like, do you go Copley here? But it ended up being a 21-yard gain for Highland. I think you just keep feeding them.
3rd and 1. Handoff to Highland across midfield. Has the first down and more. Pickup of 5 for Chase Highland.
Yeah, he's up over 60 yards on the game. 62 yards now on 12 carries. Getting his 5 yards a carry so far. I mean, you have that one big carry for 21.
And for Portsmouth, Alex McKenzie on the sideline out of uniform without his shoulder pads and helmet with his right knee heavily wrapped. So the Trojans more than likely without McKenzie for the rest of the night, so expect Nick Copley to remain in the backfield.
Hey, guys, let's be nice to each other out there. That's what that was. You just had the Little League type. But, I mean, at some point you have to do something to try to calm the chippiness. So I don't hate it.
So the Trojans across midfield, first down and 10, another handoff to Chase Highland. Out across the 45-yard line, brought down at the 42. It's Quentin Cremines in on the stop for Fairland.
Yeah, and just a kind of soft tackling there a little bit by Fairland. If we've seen anything from Chase Highland in the 3 games that we've done of him in the last 2 years, he's not an easy man to bring down. So you got to do everything you can to do it.
2nd and 4 from the plus 42-yard line.
Yep, some movement there up front for the Trojans.
Whistle prior to the snap. It'll be a false start on the Trojans. That'll push them back 5 and make it a 2nd down and 9 from the Dragon 49-yard line. If you're just now tuning in, nearly a scoreless first half of football here in Week 7. With under a minute to go in the second quarter, and an 18-yard passing touchdown by Ethan Hunt to Jack Hayden. 2-point attempt for the Dragons was good. 2nd and 9, back to the ground with Chase Highland. Pushes it across the 45-yard line, marked down at the 44.
Yeah, this is what worked on that first possession. Then Highland got a little shaken up, and that's when they kind of had to go to other things. But now you got 3rd and 6. I would like to just see, stick with what's working. Maybe run behind John Carter because he's been fired up here early in the second half. And we saw him with a couple big blocks on the outside in that first half as well.
Out of the eye, 3rd down and 6. Back to Highland. Up the middle, has the first down.
Yeah, that right side has been where Highland's been able to pick up a little bit extra. A lot of stuff going up the middle, a little bit left, but going to the right has been a little more successful as they pick up the first again. And really, you're set up pretty well at this point for play action and whatnot, if you want to go elsewhere here.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Back to Chase Highland. Out past the 35-yard line for a pickup of 4.
Yeah, Quentin Cremines does a good job there of bringing down Highland, as it looked like he nearly powered through the tackle, but the senior Cremines able to pull him down. That's 7 carries, 33 yards so far for Highland. He's got everything on this drive so far.
Handoff this time to Nick Copley, his 2nd of the night. Copley comes up just shy of the 30-yard line as the clock goes out here at the stadium, now back on.
Yeah, pick up a 4 there for Copley. Good job. And we mentioned that in the first half. They like to go with that to McKenzie, but obviously McKenzie is out right now. So Copley more than capable as he picks up 4 on that play.
3rd down and 2 for the Trojans. Williams spins, hands it off to Highland, who has the first down right at the Dragon 25.
Give him another 5, up to 86 yards now for Chase Highland. Just chipping away. And this is the first drive. This is what they did. You ride your big play guy in Chase Highland. He's going to grind it away for you. Maybe you set up something else, but at the same time, you're kind of imposing your will here on the Fairland front 4. Doing it really well.
7:27 to go here in the third quarter. Back to Highland between the tackles, out to the 20-yard line. Pickup of 5 for the senior tailback.
Yeah, just keeps getting 5. Last 4 runs, 6, 4, 5, 5, up to 91 yards now for Highland.
9 totes for $145 and 2 scores a week ago for Chase Highland. Nearing that century mark once again here in Week 7. Back to the senior tailback, slowed up at the line of scrimmage, but breaking away. Chase Highland to the right edge, makes a defender miss inside the 5. What a run for Chase Highland.
He's a dog. I mean, Chase Highland just breaks through a couple tackles, does a good job busting that to the outside, down to the 2, an 18-yard gain now, up over 100 yards once again for Chase Highland. Every time we've seen him, he's been over the century mark. Once again, does not disappoint. Great run there by the senior.
So first down, goal to go from the 2-yard line for the Trojans. Looking for their first score of the night, Chase Highland straight ahead, touchdown, Portsmouth. From 2 yards out, Chase Highland gets the Trojans on the board.
And just like most of the drive, not easy. He's got to battle through it, battle for every yard he gets, does a great job there, getting into the end zone. Makes it a 2-point game.
So given the 2-point deficit from the successful 2-point conversion at the end of the half for Fairland, Bruce Kolb going to go for 2 here. Hand off to Williams. He'll pitch it out to Chase Highland, who stopped deep in the backfield.
I think it's C.J. Graham is the one who comes up with that play. And really, if Cam Williams had decided too early that he was going to pitch out, because he could have faked that and maybe get in, but a really good read there by the senior Graham on the outside to deny the 2-point try. The good news for the Trojans, you just went 62 yards, pretty easy. I mean, you had 1 third down in there. Other than that, you just grinded away at Fairland. You have to feel like if you can get a stop, you're going to be able to do that. You have a good kicker, so a field goal, you're still within field goal deficit. So yeah, nice job there by the Trojans to pick that up.
The Trojans able to find pay dirt on their opening drive of the second half. Now the senior kicker Malachi Loper will set up to boot it away into the Dragons with 6:38 to go in the quarter. Fresh off of a scoring drive to end the first half. Dragons awaiting the kickoff here to begin their first drive of the third. Jack Hayden and Keegan Smith. The 2 men deep for the Dragons as Malachi Loper is on to boot it away. One hopper will be Jack Hayden from inside his own 20-yard line. Hayden out to the far sideline and with room to run. Loper in pursuit and forces Hayden out of bounds, but not before a big-time return that'll have the Dragons starting off at the Trojan 46-yard line.
Yeah, it's a big play there. Good job. Like, it's kind of like the, yeah, we got some extra announcing going on over here. But I think that's going to be sportsmanlike on the Portsmouth coaches, because there's some stuff going on after, like, beyond the play. But almost like the Chase Highland, the muff punt where he breaks it off for, like, the 45-yard gain. You get the bounce on the kickoff, and it kind of takes everyone out of their lanes where they should be. Looks like it's just going to be a sideline warning.
So after all the commotion and the solid return by Jack Hayden, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons from the +46. First play from scrimmage, it'll be Cam Kitts up to the 41-yard line for a pickup of 5.
Kitts picks up 5 on the play, 2nd out of 5 off the 41-yard line for Fairland.
I mean, Kitts only had 6 touches in the first half, 87 yards. I like getting him the ball early if you're the Fairland Dragons here.
2nd and 5 here for
2nd and 5 from the 41. Back to Kitts between the tackles, full steam ahead. Extremely close to the line to gain. It looks like he'll be marked about a yard shy.
Wyatt Calico made a really nice block there, open that up for kind of the trap up the middle. It's going to pick up a 4.
Third and 1 now for the Dragons as Ethan Wall looks to the sideline. Under 5:30 to go here in the third quarter, out of the gun. Ethan Wall with Cam Kitts off his right hip. It'll be the senior tailback on the third down carry, has the first down inside the 35. Pickup of 4 yards for the senior tailback, Cam Kitts.
Even though they started in really good field position, I like that Fairland just going a little more to the running game than they did in the first half, as they didn't run the ball hardly at all up until that final drive, which you don't really expect in the 2-minute offense. But maybe they saw something there like, hey, maybe we can pick up a little bit more here, grinding away on the ground, doing a little bit of what Portsmouth likes to do.
We mentioned on that opening drive, senior quarterback Ethan Wall met his passing total from the previous week. Only 4 pass attempts for the senior a week ago. Now Jack Hayden on 1st and 10.
We pick up a 2, only his second carry. But, I mean, he's 36 carries on the year, 293 yards coming into the game.
On the stop for the Trojans, Kitts picks up 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8, ball at the 31-yard line.
So now Kitts back into the game and off the right hip of Ethan Wall. Jack Hayden moves into the right slot. Ethan Wall back to pass. He'll tuck it and run up the middle and brought down hard at the 30-yard line. Pickup of 1 for Ethan Wall on 2nd down. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Really just the second time tonight, John, that we've seen Fairland get into this part of the field. The first time right before the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, they moved the ball pretty well in their first drive, but it stalled out about the 35. A little unfamiliar range here for the Trojans.
4 receivers set, 3 to the near side. Wall under pressure and brought down in the backfield, but he's able to get the ball out in time. As Keegan Smith was in the area, a flag is down in the Dragon backfield.
Yeah,
I can't imagine this is a grounding call, John, as Smith was in the immediate area of the throw. And Wall did get the pass off before hitting the ground.
Yeah, and I think it's good by the side judge. Side judge to come over and let him know. Can always wave it off. It looks like that's what's going to happen here.
Interesting soundboard here at the Coliseum,
yes.
I must say.
Hey, I like the soundboard, though. Hey, but good job there by Wall just to get rid of that. He kind of tucked it early, expecting the big hit, and I think that's where a couple times in the first half he took a couple big hits and maybe a little gun shy there.
So the Dragons avoid the grounding call. 4th and 7, Mike Jackson going to leave the offense on the field. And a hard count will get the Trojans offside and make this 4th down play much more manageable at 4th and 2.
A good job there by Fairland, because they've been, when they've timed it really well, but making the extra call, changing the cadence up a little bit, gets the Trojans the jump. It looks like they're going to go a little more tight here. Maybe bring in a couple tight ends. Kermeen's coming in, a big body.
Jack Hayden and Keegan Smith, the 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Everybody else tied to the line of scrimmage. Kermeen's motions across. Cam Kitts met in the backfield. What a play by Trevin Brooks. And the ball is out. But they'll say Kitts was down prior to the fumble. Nonetheless, what a stop on 4th down by Trevin Brooks.
Yeah, Trevin Brooks has played very well all night. Makes a monstrous hit there on Cam Kitts. Big time stop for the Trojans after Fairland moved the ball really well on the drive.
Second time we've seen Trevin Brooks make a big play tonight.
That one a little more physical than the first one.
An absolutely thunderous hit in the backfield for the junior linebacker. Now 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 26-yard line. Brooks motions across the line of scrimmage. A handoff to Chase Highland on first down as he's met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain on the play.
You know, Elias Blankenship has been all over the place tonight. Does a good job there stopping Highland in the backfield. And Highland's able to fall forward to the line of scrimmage.
Under 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. 2 receivers sent for the Trojans, both to the far sideline. Handoff to Highland between the tackles. Out to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, after Highland was getting 4 and 5 a carry to start the first drive of the second half, only picking up 3 yards so far on the first 2 carries is big, as Portsmouth hasn't thrown the ball poorly today, 4 of 8 for 33 yards, but only 4 of 8 for 33 yards. So it's not something they love to do. Good job by Fairland to force Portsmouth into most likely a passing down here.
Same formation for the Trojans on 3rd and 7. JT Williams spins, hands it off. Highland out past the 30-yard line, and he'll be about 3 yards shy of the line to gain.
Yeah, he hit the hole hard, but the hole closed up very quickly. I don't think there's a lot to think about here. But if you have Cam Williams back there, it can always make it to where at least Fairland has to think that you're going to go for it here. But you're at your own 33.
A full quarter of football left to play.
Yeah.
1:25 to go in the third. For the time being, it'll be I formation. JT Williams hands it off to Chase Highland. He needs the 36, and he's going to get there. A second effort push for Chase Highland. And a new set of downs for the Trojans. What a play by the senior tailback.
I guess when you have a Chase Highland who's got that much grit and determination, you trust him to get that yardage. He's stopped a full yard short and able to bust through it and pick up the extra yardage. Gets 2 more. Up to 122 now on the night for Chase Highland.
For now, the drive will continue for the Trojans with Nick Copley up the middle. Nearly busting it outside, but brought down for a pickup of 7. Longest carry to the night for Copley.
Yeah, good job by Copley there, just hitting that hole quick. And it gives Highland a little break as he looks like he's gassed in the backfield as we're down under 40 seconds. Once again, our clock with the no digital dot out there makes it to where our clock, there's going to be some weird times under a minute. So we'll just keep letting you know.
As it stands, 22 seconds left in the quarter. 2nd down and 3 out of the IR, the Trojans. It appears we will have a whistle prior to the snap. It'll be a false start on Portsmouth.
You don't want the false start there, but I think it may have prevented them from a possible fumbled snap.
And that should make it to where Portsmouth does not need to run a play. So there's about a 10-second difference between the game and play clock. So the Trojans will huddle up. 2nd and 8 from the 39-yard line awaits as we will head to the final quarter of play here in Week 7. From the Trojan Coliseum, an 8-6 lead for the Dragons. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. and 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio, as the Portsmouth Trojans currently trail the Fairland Dragons 8-6. And what will decide the outright leader in the Ohio Valley Conference is just one team will remain undefeated in conference play, and although the low combined score total, what a game it has been through 3 quarters.
Yeah, these teams have really battled tonight. Been an outstanding game.
2nd down and 8. Highland shakes a tackle and has the first down. Once again, Chase Highland, when you thought he would be brought down, able to keep his feet churning and move the sticks for the Trojans.
Yeah, he's just been a beast all half. He's close to 100 yards this half, up to 130 on the night. And you know it's coming. But overall, he's still been able to pick it up. Even on that 4th and 3, he's able to bust through a tackle and pick up the big first.
Now another handoff to Highland. Up the middle, has the first down and more. Chase Highland out to the Dragon 36. A pickup of 11 yards.
17. It's close enough. It's all right. He's up to 99 yards in the second half alone. Chase Highland wants that Ohio Valley Conference championship, and he's really showing it right now.
1st and 10 for the Trojans from the plus 36-yard line. Williams spins, hands it off to Nick Copley, who spins out of the first tackle before being brought down after a pickup of about 5 yards.
Well, and one thing I've noticed, after these big plays by Highland, it looks like JT Williams is turning around and talking to him. It's almost like Williams has can completely make the decision, are you going to give it up to the up back or are we going to run it with Highland? Hey, let's give Chase an extra play off, and especially when Copley's picking up for a carry.
Trojans out of the eye on 2nd down and 6. Back to the ground with Chase Highland. Inside the Dragon 30-yard line for a pickup of about 4 yards for the senior.
Yep, up to 150 now on the night. We knew what to expect with Portsmouth, and Chase Highland hasn't disappointed at all. This line really impressive right now for Portsmouth as well, because Fairland knows what's coming, but it's still Portsmouth is able to grind away and pick up yardage on every play.
Third down and 3, Highland between the tackles inside the 25-yard line. First down for Portsmouth.
Another 5 yards for Chase Highland. And really, maybe that was part of the strategy in the first half as well. It's like, hey, we know, especially when it was tied, we know we're going to ride Chase this whole second half, so let's rest him up for that second half, as he's had all but 3 carries so far in this half, and they've had the ball quite a bit of time here.
Ran off nearly 6 minutes of game time with their opening score. In the second half is Nick Copley, making the most of the touches he's had here tonight. Up to about the 16-yard line for a pickup of 9.
Yeah, he's done a really good job as well. That's 25 yards now for Copley. It's been a really dynamic offense for, we're lining up I form now, a little wide, but.
Handoff to Highland, straight ahead, has the first down. It is the ground and pound game that allowed Portsmouth to pick up the Week 11 win last season against Fairland. They've gone back to that game plan here in Week 7 a year later.
Yeah, under 9 minutes left. I would think you're going to see a lot more Highland and Copley I think you've got to get these safeties up in the box even more if you're Fairland.
Handoff, Copley up the middle. Copley able to pick up a yard. Marked down at the 11-yard line.
Nick Copley on the carry. Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 9 off the 11-yard line for the Trojans.
Ten seconds on the play clock for the Trojans. Now down to 3. Snap is off in time. A toss near side. Chase Island has the edge with a big time block by Copley on the outside. As Chase Island is brought down at the Dragon 5.
He takes a big hit from Garrett Cornwell, but able to just get right back up. And we've seen all night he's going to get himself down close to the first down. Down to the 5.
3rd down from the 5-yard line for Portsmouth. They need the 3-yard line for a fresh set of downs.
3 balls at the 5-yard line.
3rd down and 2 for the Trojans. Miscommunication in the backfield. J.T. Williams will keep it himself and scurry up the middle for a Trojan touchdown.
That's 2 weeks in a row. We've seen some miscommunication, but the quarterback has been athletic enough to make a play. Big play there by J.T. Williams, picking up the touchdown for the Trojans with 7:16 to play. I would think you got to go for 2 here.
First lead of the night for the Trojans as Bruce Cobb will trot Malachi Loper out onto the field.
We saw in week 1 they ran a fake off of this, but yeah, I don't know, like mathematically it doesn't make sense to go for, yeah.
Bruce Cobb sprinting up the near sideline for a timeout.
The high school football on Fox Sports, AM 1260 here.
PAT awaiting with 7:16 to go here in the 4th quarter. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
7:16, a 5-yard rushing touchdown by J.T. Williams, his 2nd in as many weeks. Trojans originally going to go for the PAT with Malachi Loper. Now, after the timeout, Bruce Cobb will leave the offense on the field for a 2-point try. Could potentially make it a 6-point ball game. J.T. Williams hands it off to Highland, who flips it back to Cam Williams, who lobs it into the end zone, and it's caught. Trevin Brooks for the 2-point conversion. Yeah, and a 14-8 lead for the Trojans.
And that was very similar to that play we saw in the South Point game, except for it was J.T. Williams that threw it. But they hit Trevin Brooks, big-time play to make it 14-8.
We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum, a line drive kick from Malachi Loper. It will be returned by Lucas Bumpus. Up the near sideline, brought down at his own 45-yard line.
And that's a big play. Good job by Bumpus there, as we saw one kickoff that was short like that earlier take a nasty bounce, and it really pinned Portsmouth back, but Bumpus able to control it, move it upfield. You got really good field position now if you're Fairland. 7:10 to play, only down a score, but with how well this Portsmouth team runs the ball, I feel like this is a must score for Fairland.
And with the successful two-point try, it makes the point after for Fairland, if they were to score, that much more important. Ethan Wall, a screen pass to the right side to Jack Hayden. Nowhere to go for the senior, as he's met by about 9 of the 11 Portsmouth defenders and brought down for a loss of 2.
Yeah, good job swarming there by the Portsmouth defense. They've done a really good job all over the field tonight. They've missed a couple of tackles that could have got them some losses, but that was just perfect gang tackling by the Trojans to push the Dragons behind the sticks to start this drive.
Six seconds on the play clock for the Dragons. Hayden motions near side. Wall back to pass. He'll fly it out to the near side as Jack Hayden takes a big time hit by Nick Copley. And Hayden will be slow to get up after the play.
He's not the only one, as we got someone at the line of scrimmage as well.
So the incompletion from Ethan Wall to Jack Hayden will bring up a 3rd down and 12 as a Trojan that we're not 100% sure who it is quite yet remains down. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie and Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Wall will dump it off to Cam Kitts. Cam Kitts up the right sideline. Here goes the senior, Cam Kitts, inside the Dragon 25.
Big play there by the Dragons. After coming from behind the sticks, 3rd and 12, they're able to pick up about 32 on the play to Cam Kitts.
1st and 10 from the 22 for Fairland. Back to the ground with Cam Kitts. Up the middle, the senior up to the 10-yard line, marked down at the 11.
Going to be a pickup of 11. Kitts over 100 yards of total offense now.
Dragons quickly back to the line, right back to Kitts as we have a whistle prior to the snap. It appears we have an official's timeout as the crew chief will come over to talk with head coach Bruce Kolb of the Portsmouth Trojans.
I think they're going to, something with the clock, which actually is a pretty big break for Portsmouth, as Fairland was really moving the ball well right there.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line for the Dragons.
And when the play resumes, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line.
It's under 6 minutes to go here in the 4th.
All right, here we go. Shotgun set here for the Dragons.
Cremines in the backfield alongside Ethan Wall. Wall hands it off. Cremines shakes the first would-be tackler. Cremines inside the 5. Touchdown, Dragons!
Touchdown, Fairland.
Well,
Although the far sideline referee is marking him short, the referee closer to the play signaling touchdown. So we'll await the official ruling. So the touchdown has not yet been confirmed. Once again, the official coming from the far sideline saying Cremines was down. The official closer to the play, more or less right next to Cremines as he dove into the end zone, signaling touchdown. And it looks like Cremines will be marked about a yard shy.
Yeah, the sideline official called it immediately. The official right there saw him reach across, but his knee must have been down as the sideline official was right on it. We can't tell from where we're at, so.
So goal to go from the 1-yard line. Wall looking to pass, a slant to the far sideline. It's caught. Touchdown, Dragons. Connor Black on the reception as the Dragons tie it up at 14 apiece.
Yeah, kind of a risky play there, but nice job getting that ball to Black, his first catch of the game.
3rd receiving touchdown on the season for Connor Black. 15th passing on the year for Ethan Wall.
Fairland may just not have their kicker available.
Aiden Miller up to this season, number 15, a senior, was 19 of 22 on PATs coming into this week. And for the 2nd consecutive Dragon touchdown, he will not come onto the field. So the Dragons will go for 2. Wall rolling to his left. Pocket collapsing to the back of the end zone. It's caught by Keegan Smith, but he's ruled out of the back of the end zone. And that'll keep us tied up at 14 apiece, with Portsmouth set to receive the ensuing kickoff. We'll step aside. Knotted up at 14. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
A 1-yard passing touchdown from Ethan Wall to Connor Black tied it up at 14 apiece. The Dragons seemingly without their regular place kicker, going for 2 for the 2nd time tonight. This time Ethan Wall unable to find Keegan Smith in the back of the end zone. That'll keep it knotted up at 14 apiece, John. And you talk about Malachi Loper, the difference that could make on this drive for Portsmouth if they got into what would potentially be considered his field goal range.
Yeah, Loper hasn't kicked one yet. He's kicked off a couple times, but he hasn't kicked an extra point because they went for 2 both times. And kind of out of necessity, as they're down 2 and then they're up 4. So now you ride Chase Highland, you might have a chance here.
So Blankenship, a squib kick up the middle. It'll be Cam Williams on the return for the Trojans up the far sideline, running into his own defender before being dropped right at his own 29-yard line.
Yeah, ends up being, still a positive return there for Cam Williams, but maybe is a little bit bigger if he was able to avoid Braxton Carr right there. But, I think with, Coach Cobb, he'll take that You're up near the 30. Who knows how far they got to get, but you've got a really tough, hard-nosed running back, a couple of hard-nosed seniors, a hard-nosed quarterback that's a senior. You got some playmakers out there if you're Portsmouth.
First down, a handoff to Chase Highland. Between the tackles, still on his feet. Hard-earned 4-yard pickup for the senior.
He's over 170 yards on the game. And if we had kind of like a college or NFL book where we could see how many yards after contact, it would be insane for him right now because he's been unreal tonight, keeping his legs moving, fighting for every yard. Actually gets 5 on that play.
Williams hands it off to Highland. Up the middle, brought down for a pickup of 3.
The good thing, if you're Coach Jackson with Fairland, you have all 3 timeouts. If you can just stop Portsmouth at any time, your offense is so quick strike, although it appears you don't have a kicker right now, but you have the quick strike offense to where you don't need a whole lot of time.
Third and 2 from their own 37. Nick Copley straight ahead to the 40-yard line has the Trojan first down.
Copley's been very good this second half. Up to 30 yards, 29 of which have came in the second half. We didn't see him in week 1. Wasn't in uniform. With Alex McKenzie going out with an injury in the first quarter, it's been huge to have Copley as he's able to just be a little bit of a change of pace from Highland, picking up the valuable first down there for the Trojans.
First and 10 for Portsmouth from their own 41. Split backfield, a handoff to Chase Highland. Pickup of about 3 yards for Chase. Officially a pickup of 2.
Yeah, they've done a couple of different things. They've gone from they put Highland in that fullback position. I think maybe hoping where Copley's able to pick up 5 or 6, that maybe Highland can bust it and pick up a much greater gain.
Second and 8, a toss to the right side. It's Highland. Out to the numbers. Highland cuts it up and is brought down right at the 50-yard line. Looks to be about a yard shy of the line to gain.
And Nick Copley, is doing a fullback's work here. Great lead block there again. I believe as Landon Bourne also had a nice lead block there, the senior right guard for the Trojans. Now you got a 3rd and 1. Less than 3 minutes left.
Fullback dive. Nick Copley straight ahead with another efficient run and another Trojan first down.
Yeah, 4 yards of carry right now. You're getting Copley, getting some nice pickups here.
First and 10 Trojans at the 46-yard line.
2 timeouts remaining for the Trojans, all 3 for Fairland. Out of the eye, back to Copley, this time met at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Dylan Stone, the junior defensive lineman, with the big-time play for the Dragons.
Yeah, Copley had been picking up 4 or 5 yards of carry. Now he's hurt also on the play because Dylan Stone with a big-time hit. That's 2 fullbacks now out.
Fernando Poches will go in at the fullback position, the 3rd player in that spot for the Trojans tonight.
Yeah, Poches, who we said his name a lot in week 1.
Incorrectly.
Yes.
Poches with 2 hands down. He'll go ahead to lead block for Highland, who takes the handoff. Pick up of 4 yards on 2nd down for Chase Highland.
He ended up sitting up at the 40, is marked down at the 42. They've been very tight on the spots tonight. That's going to be a pickup of 4.
Timeout for the Trojans. $1:23 to go in regulation here in Week 7 at the Trojan Coliseum. We'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
14-14 with $1:23 to go here in regulation. Third and 6 coming up for the Trojans from the plus 42-yard line.
Yeah, 1:23 left here for Portsmouth. You have one timeout. I don't think you don't have to run, or you don't have to throw the ball here, because really you want to make Fairland use a timeout if, I think you just ride Highland.
Fernando Ponches remains in the game at fullback. It'll be play action. JT Williams on the keeper, needs the 36, has it and more. The ball is out on the ground. And he will be marked down prior to the fumble, as Quentin Cremines recovered the loose ball.
Connor Black ripped it out, but it's going to be called down. That is a huge call in this game. He needed 6. He picks up 10.
I don't know, John. That may have been a rough call.
Yeah, that ball was out.
So Portsmouth, their drive will continue. A handoff to Highland. Highland out to the outside, has the edge. Chase Highland up to the Dragon 20-yard line. First down, Portsmouth.
199 now for Chase Highland. And you got to make that hurt. Although helmet seemed to have came off, so does that mean he's going to have to come out? Or was it ripped off? I don't think if you're Portsmouth.
For the Trojans, they can use a timeout if you want to keep Highland in the game.
And I think they're saying it was ripped off.
The Dragons sideline is irate as they receive a sideline warning by the far side official.
And after the fumble.
What a sequence of events, John.
Yeah, because I don't know if Fairland's going to go down and score if they recover that fumble there, but that was a fumble. Second one tonight. Not necessarily fumble, but a big call. One against each team.
A play that would have given the Dragons the ball on their side of the field. Instead, the Trojans' drive continues. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. JT Williams rolling to his right. Lobs it to the end zone. It's caught. Landon Malone inside the 5. Marked down at the 1-yard line.
What a pass and catch. Landon Malone, his second catch of the night. A 19-yard gain. That's the first thrown ball of the second half.
A Dragon defender is down after the play. It appears to be C.J. Graham.
And once again, we're going to remind you about our scoreboard. Right now, it's 35.8 left. So 35.8 left to go here in this fourth quarter.
First down, goal to go from inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they're going to roll that to the right and maybe just try to pick up a little bit, but Malone was able to get to the inside of his defender. Looked like he was very close to the pylon. Called out inside the 1. Which really, inside the 1, this actually probably benefits Portsmouth more than anything. I mean, I think with him going out of bounds, the clock stopped anyway. But I think if he doesn't get in here, I think if you're Fairland, you got to call timeout because they need a yard. And they got Chase Highland, who's at 199 right now.
One timeout remaining for the Trojans. All 3 for Fairland. Portsmouth quick to the line. Williams, a QB sneak right up the middle. Awaiting the signal, touchdown, Trojans! Second one of the night for J.T. Williams. As Portsmouth takes the lead 20-14.
27.7 to play. J.T. Williams, what do we got him listed at? 5'6", 147, just battled his way into the end zone there. His second score of the fourth quarter.
Malachi Loper on for his first PAT attempt of the night. Hold from Williams. Loper splits the uprights. And the lead for the Trojans is pushed to 7 at 21-14. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio, as the Trojan faithful is on their feet. A 1-yard touchdown plunge from J.T. Williams. The PAT from Loper was good, and it's a 21-14 lead for the Trojans with 27 seconds to go in regulation. Squib kick from Loper. Looks like it'll be Cam Kitts on the return for the Dragons. Cam Kitts to the near sideline and brought down just outside of the 30-yard line, marked down at the 34.
Yeah, all 3 timeouts left, but 21.4 to play. And you can use the middle of the field. Ethan Wall's got a nice arm, so if they really need to, you know, he can get the big throw downfield. But they haven't really completed anything downfield at all. Their big plays have been screen passes, mostly to Cam Kitts.
It'll have to be a touchdown for the Dragons. 77 yards in 3 timeouts. Hayden motions across the line of scrimmage. Wall to the far sideline. It's brought in by Jack Hayden. The clock will stop at 14 and a half. You would have to assume as Jack Hayden is slow to get up, Mike Jackson will use one of his 3 timeouts, which he will.
Yeah, 14.5 to play. Great execution there. As their other downfield play was to Jack Hayden for that 18-yard touchdown. And now you got a lot of field to work with.
29 yards on the connection from Ethan Wall to Jack Hayden.
Hey, reset the clock to 15.4.
They've said to reset it to 15.4.
So 15 and a half seconds. Now 2 timeouts for Mike Jackson in the Fairland Dragons, 48 yards to go.
I mean, the big thing for Fairland, you've got Cam Kitts. Hopefully Hayden can go after this, but you got Cam Kitts, and you got Keegan Smith, who has 1 catch for 4 yards. He's had 25 catches for 430 on the year coming into it, so he can make big plays for you as well. I mean, Kitts and Hayden, big play guys. C.J. Graham has played well this year for the Dragons.
2 receivers sent for the Dragons. C.J. Graham motions across the line of scrimmage. Wall back to pass. He'll keep it himself. Up the middle and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Timeout, Fairland.
8.9 to play. Yeah, the only way you can take a sack there is because you have a timeout. But, you got to get a first down on this play just to make sure the clock stops. You have one timeout.
.9 seconds to go here in regulation. .48 yards and one timeout for the Dragons.
Set the clock to 9.55.
Changing it to 9.5 now on the clock. Tell you what, though, that's a couple weeks ago we had a game where people were not happy with the way the home clock went. But these officials are on top of the. It's been a second, and it's not like that's a huge thing, but that can make a big difference here. 9.5 to play.
Here we go from the 47-yard line, 2nd and 9. Wall back to pass over the middle. It's caught, and it'll be a hook and lateral, but the ball is free. It's out of bounds with a second left on the clock, and for Fairland, the play was there.
It ends up, but what's the call here? Because they throw the flag. I think he's saying because he batted it out. I don't know what the penalty is there, though.
It was a hook and ladder. The pitch back was not clean.
So is that a legal touching?
There will be some sort of penalty on the Dragons.
I guess it's only 5 yards, though. So, you still 1.8 seconds left. Really smart play by whoever was able to knock that out of bounds because you just take a 5-yard penalty. And now, yeah.
So from the 45-yard line, it'll be an empty backfield for Ethan Wall. Check that. It'll be Cam Kentz off his right hip. 3-man rush. Wall fires it to the near sideline for Hayden. It is incomplete, but a flag is down.
And people don't want it. People don't want calls to be made late. That was pass interference. It's a little behind. Hayden can't get to it. His man doesn't. If he turns his head at all, that penalty flag's not being thrown.
So that'll push the Dragons up to the 32-yard line for an untimed down.
Yeah, if you're joining us here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, we've had several games come down to the last play so far this year. This will be yet another one.
I believe 7 of our 8 streams this year have been within one score.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we have a pick 6 here by the Trojans.
Right. Which we had one of those to end a one-score game last year.
So the ball spotted at the 30-yard line. So it ended up being about a 17-yard penalty. Untimed down from the 30-yard line. One timeout remaining for the Dragons. Prior to this snap would be the only time they could use it.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to see a timeout here.
And as the play clock winds down to 5, Mike Jackson will take his final timeout.
Yeah, you got to get the ball to the end zone. That's the biggest thing here. I like the action that they've ran to try to get Jack Hayden the ball. Jack Hayden, 6'2", 185. The DBs for Portsmouth are not very tall. Pretty good athletes. But if you're going to throw a jump ball, you've got Jack Hayden. You've got Keegan Smith, 6'1", really good athlete as well. You've got options here. Throw a Hail Mary here. You just got to get it to the end zone.
Keegan Smith and Jack Hayden, 6'1" and 6'2". Those are going to be your deep play guys. Do you think in this case, for Mike Jackson and Ethan Wall, it's a lob to the end zone, or do we see something similar to a hook and lateral that we saw just a couple plays ago?
I just think with this much time left, obviously none, with this, like, Portsmouth will be ready for a hook and ladder, but I think you just got to take your one shot here.
So 3 men stride the goal line for the Trojans. It'll be a 2-man rush for Portsmouth. Ethan Wall lobs it to the end zone. It is caught! What a play! Keegan Smith brings it in from 30 yards out and high steps it all the way over to his sideline. What a play as Ethan Wall connects with Keegan Smith to bring the Dragons within 1.
A reminder, we don't know if Fairland has a kicker.
Wall lobbing it into double coverage. And it is brought down by the 6'1 senior Keegan Smith. And the Dragons are going to go for 2. An untimed down. This will be the final play here in Week 7. Timeout, Portsmouth.
Well, that was fun. Yeah, you have the untimed down. You just got to get the ball to the end zone. And kind of like what we said going into it, you got to give your guys a chance. Wall does a great job giving his man a chance, and Keegan Smith goes up and rips it down to cut it to 1. And really, like we're looking at back, the back man, the safety on the play is Cam Williams, who's 5'5". It's good coverage by Portsmouth. It's just you got a 6-inch advantage there. You throw it up, let your man make a play, and Fairland's able to do so.
Fairland next week will host Ironton. Portsmouth next week will host Rock Hill.
So 21-20 is our score. No time left on the clock. No timeouts for either team. And a Fairland Dragon 2-point try coming up here in the final play of this OVC Week 7 matchup.
And really, this is the OVC Championship on the line on this play.
Sole possession of first place within the Ohio Valley Conference on the line. Cam Kent's alongside Ethan Wall in the backfield. Wall will pitch it up the middle, and it's busted down, and the Trojans stand tall. As flags rain down after the play, most definitely sideline warnings. We'll await the official ruling on the field. As there is a flag down on the near sideline. As Ethan Wall attempted to pitch it up the middle. And it was batted down after the pass was incomplete.
Yeah, and
Wall picked it up and tried to take it to the outside.
It should have been, play should have been dead because it's a forward pass.
So the Trojan faithful awaiting the call, as is Bruce Kalb. It was a pitch play to Quentin Cremines tight to the line of scrimmage. It was immediately batted down. It was Jalen Ball on the deflection for the Trojans.
And that's a great play by a senior who we haven't even mentioned so far tonight. It's going to be a sideline warning.
So a sideline warning on the Trojans. And I think they're going to replay the down, John.
Wow.
A penalty after the play is going to allow Fairland to attempt this 2-point try once again. And now the crew chief will head over to talk with Bruce Kalb as we try to get everything sorted out here at the Coliseum.
I feel like
this would be a good time to have Eric Cox in the booth.
Yes,
John.
I agree completely on that because...
And Bruce Kalb is absolutely irate, and to be honest, John, I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, that's especially if it's after the play.
So in a miraculous turn of events, the Fairland Dragons will get another try at this 2-point conversion attempt. Sole possession of the Ohio Valley Conference. First place on the line, a screen pass, checked out a slant, and it's caught. So the Dragons complete the miracle here on Gallia Street and stun the Trojans at home, 22-21, the final.
Jack Hayden.
This Trojan crowd absolutely stunned. It's a sideline warning after the initial 2-point try that was no good, allows the Dragons another attempt at 2 points. Successful slant route from Jack Hayden opens up the passing lane for Ethan Wall. The connection was good, and 22-21 is the final.
So my question, did the players come on the field to celebrate even though it was a forward pass and got batted down? Is that when the sideline warning happened? Or was it during the mess of stuff when the play should have been called dead already? But either way, Fairland bounces back, makes the play to win the game. Great job by Fairland. I mean, you have, but that's 13 penalties on Portsmouth tonight. One with no time left. Actually, multiple with no time left. And really, that's the difference in tonight's game. What a game, though.
One of the most competitive and controversial games we've had here in quite a while. As the Fairland Dragons remain undefeated in the OVC, fast-tracking to their first OVC title since 2013. We'll step aside. You've been watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio, as the Fairland Dragons absolutely stun the Portsmouth Trojans on a 2-point conversion to end the night. 22-21 is the final. The Dragons now 7-0, 4-0 in the OVC. A big non-conference matchup next week back in Proctorville as they host the Ironton Fighting Tigers. For the Trojans, they move to 5-2, their first loss in the Ohio Valley Conference, now sitting at 3-1. They'll stay here in P-Town as they host the Rock Hill Redmen for a battle for second place in the OVC, as Rock Hill victorious tonight, and they both sit at 3. Actually, I believe Rock Hill might be 4-1 in the OVC, but both teams with a loss in the conference.
Well, and you got to, especially with Fairland having to play 2 league games after they play Ironton next week, if you're Portsmouth, you got to win every game still. You got to, just bounce back from this the best you can, and you got to try to take it out on Rock Hill next week. Yeah, it's a tough game, but just too many penalties for Portsmouth. That last one's weird. We don't know the logistics of how everything went on it, so we can't really say one way or the other, but that was 13 penalties, 14 with one being waved off. So that's just too many penalties. Like, for a good team, Portsmouth's a good team. I mean, this is a really good team. And you got Chase Island ran for 199 yards tonight with 1 touchdown. JT Williams ran for 2 scores. I believe he was around 50 yards rushing. Nick Copley had 34 yards on the ground. Williams was also 5 for 9 for 19 yards. They Portsmouth scores late to take the lead. Fairland gets a 15-yard pass interference. I thought it was the right call. Then they were able to score with no time left on an untimed down. Wall connects with Keegan Smith, who goes up in double coverage, makes a great play. Then you have the 2-point try that gets shut down.
Interesting play call.
Yeah, very interesting.
Shovel pass, similar to one you might see watching Chiefs games, not as much this year, but in past years, the shovel pass to Quentin Cremines right up the middle, a forward pass that was batted down. And given the situation of the sideline warning allowing the Dragons to repeat the play, you got to figure on the field the call was that ball was live, because it seemed the Trojans sideline stormed the field. The play should have been dead, but Ethan Wall picked it up and tried to get to the outside edge, was unsuccessful in that attempt, but they get another try. Slant pass to Jack Hayden. 22-21 the final here in week 7.
Yeah, and we've got headsets. The crowd was very loud on the play, so you can't hear any whistles. You've had a game before where you couldn't hear whistles at the end, and it's been a controversial finish. But credit to Fairland. I mean, they only had 6 penalties in the game. Ethan Wall, he got hit a lot early in the game. Throws for 187 yards, a lot of which were to Cam Kitts. Kitts had 88 yards receiving on 4 catches, 54 yards on the ground. Jack Hayden had 44 yards receiving, but also had that huge 2-point conversion to win the game. But then you also had Keegan Smith, 2 catches for 34 yards, including the game winner. So doesn't get any easier for Fairland next week, as they've got Ironton coming up. This is going to be, this is one that's going to sting for a while for Portsmouth.
Big thank you to Jacob Van Dusen and the rest of the athletic department here at Portsmouth for once again providing top-notch hospitality here at the Coliseum. outstanding press box. If you've never been down here to the Coliseum, thankfully no structural damage with the floods suffered about 7 days ago. Everything remaining intact in one of the best venues here in Southern Ohio.
Yeah, it's a beautiful venue, great view, especially from where we're at. They treat us really well, and good people down here.
Big thank you to Kenneth A. As always, making the trip down to P-Town for tonight's contest. Always providing the best camera operation. I'm not sure how to word that, but one of the best camera operators in the state.
I've seen some other
shaky.
Yeah, some shaky cams, and we actually had a shaky cam in week 2.
We did
when he was not doing it. So we appreciate
difference
Kenneth.
maker.
Yes, he is a difference maker
MVP of the team. Luckily for Kenneth and the rest of us, will stay in Ross County for the next few weeks, as we wrap up our regular season high school football coverage. Once again, the final here tonight at the Trojan Coliseum. Fairland 22, Portsmouth 21. For Kenneth Hay, John Bruce, and Dewey Daly, we say so long from the Trojan Coliseum. You've been watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.